Good morning, Dmitry.
Good morning, Philip, right?
Yes, sir.
How are you this morning? Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. How's life treating you?
Living the dream here. Little cold in Minnesota, but living the dream. You in Florida?
Yeah, I'm in Florida. It's chilly here too. The reason I need your help, like I said, I'm looking to do the roof in the next year or so.
Okay.
I've had a slew of roofing guys come over and give me, how long is the roof going to last type thing. And they've inspected it and they say, well, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So the roof it's the original roof. The house was built in '07. So it's 17 years old. In my research, I found your site where you recommend roofers, and I've contacted a few of them.
What's your zip
I
code?
had 34711. So I've contacted a few of them. Two of them came out. What I want to do is I want to buy the materials because I don't trust these guys as far as I control, as far as what they're actually going to put in the house. So I want to sub it out to them. One of the guys, I said, let me know if you're interested. Never heard back from him. The other guy was Home Shield Roofing. His name is Ian Zika.
Mm-hmm.
Now he came over and he spent a lot of time with me here. He was the best one I've come across in a long time. But now he sent me a proposal. When I was looking, I got onto Consumer Reports, and their assessment of roofing shingles, the best one that they promoted was the Owens Corning Berkshire shingles. So that's what I wanted to go with. I don't want to put junk on here. I don't want to have to do this again as long as I live. He sent me a proposal, and I asked him. I says, I want to know the prices because if I'm going to buy this stuff, and I want to know where to buy the stuff, where you recommend I should buy the stuff, and I want to know what the costs are, per item. Haven't heard back from him, so I don't know what the issues are. Can you find, if he's not the one that's going to do this for me, can you find me somebody here that you would trust to do a good job here?
Well, I'm looking at the website. Any of the guys listed, so you actually have, in some areas we don't have plenty of contractors here. We have top 7. We have Ideal. We have Eustace Roofing. Eustace Roofing were our company of the year 2 years ago. Then we have Home Shield. We have Certified Roofing Solutions. I personally know Titus Lee, owner. I know all of these guys. I'll explain that Warmly Roofing is a great company. So, Warmly, for example, if you watch our shingle guide, 2024 shingle guide, Robert Wormley, the owner of Wormley Roofing, actually speaks how he reviews the products, all of that. The issue that you're having, I actually talk about it on my channel a few times. Roofers will not share prices. So like the roofing industry is a little bit different from, it's almost like, if you go to the restaurant, you would not offend the chef or the restaurant owner asking how much they're paying for the steak. You look at the steak, you order the steak, $50, $70, you eat it, but you know that they're getting for $20. I tell you that it costs, because I know the business really well, 30 to 35% of your job is materials across the board. 30-40% is your labor, and 30% is gross profit margin. So that's typical. Most of the guys listed, that's what they're gonna do. You can go to, let's say, Home Depot or Lowe's, and Home Depot, Lowe's only sells either GF or Owens Corning, 2 brands, but you're not gonna get most brands in the big box stores. So you have to have an account with like ABC Supply or SRS. We have top 3 suppliers where roofers get their materials. And someone like, for example, Eustace, they buy truckloads. They buy containers of underlayments. They actually have mini storehouse and stuff. So they can't even break it down to you because it costs them 60-70,000 just on the rolls of underlayment, and your job will take 3 rolls of underlayment, but they have to store $70,000 of underlayment per year. So if you're asking them, can you give me a breakdown of materials? They can't, because they have cost of warehousing, people on salaries who managing forklifts, all of that stuff. And they buy in bulk, they buy truckloads and they store it. If you go to ABC Supply, you'll pay premium price as a homeowner. I would say, to answer your question, Home Shield Roofing will do a good job. Eustace Roofing will do a good job. Ideal Home Solutions will do a good job. It's a premium contractors, but it's a marketplace. And you know, if they do $10 million a year worth of work, at the end of the year, the net profit in the roofing business, it's roughly 10%. So that's what out of 30% grows, because overhead is so expensive. And I don't know any big roofer, you know, who does $5, $7, $10 million, who would even go and break down. We don't even do it for insurance claims. Even when we deal with insurance, we have breakdowns of the scope of work, but it's almost impossible to break it down: materials versus labor versus overhead. Does it make sense?
It does, but I wanted an idea, you know, on a per item basis, what I could expect to pay for this stuff.
Well,
if I'm buying it myself.
30-40%. Well, you can go to Home Depot and you can see it.
No, I don't want to go to Home Depot. Now, what is your experience with Owens Corning Berkshire shingles?
Berkshire shingles, they're good. They're premium grade. It's called, they're in designers category. So they look a little bit different. So they actually, those shingles cost 1.5 to 2 times from regular asphalt shingles, architectural. So those usually are special orders, and they cost much more than regular shingles. And they also take longer to install. Any of the roofer that you will get price on it, he will bid at roughly 30-40% is your material. So if you're getting quote for $30,000, your material's roughly going to be $10,000-$12,000. But it's not only shingles. You still have a lot of accessories to go with it. So shingles is just part of the material list.
What do you recommend for Central Florida for shingles?
Well, if you look at our shingle guide, what do you have right now? Is it asphalt shingles?
Yeah, I have asphalt shingles. They were rated 30 years when they put them on. I think there's Certainteed. I'm not certain. I'd have to go look in the garage. I have a bundle left.
Sure. I would say go with a heavier product. Certainteed are great. So Certainteed, I think one of the heaviest on the market would be Landmark Pros. So those are great shingles. So most manufacturers will have designer shingles. So like if you stay in with you have architecturals, right? So like typical look. So yeah. I would go with either Ico Dynasty, Atlas Storemaster, Landmark Pro. If you go to roofinginsights.com, you can Google or YouTube 2024 shingle guide, you will see our rating. So anything 96, 97 will give you very thick, very heavy product. That's for architecturals. If you want a specific look, like designers stand out from your neighbors, you can get something like Berkshire. Also, all manufacturers like Malarkey, other brands, they will have premium shingles, but again, those might almost double the cost of architectural shingles because they take longer to install, they cost more to order, and they usually will be more per bundle because of their design. They have less coverage. So like architectural shingles will have 3 bundles per square, and some designers collections might have 5 or 7 bundles per square. So you'll have way more bundles, way more materials. They'll be much heavier. So it really the preference when it comes to the look. But if you ask me for what works, it's something like Ico Dynasty. It's class 4 and it's the heaviest. So Atlas Storemaster, Landmark Pros, Ico Dynasty would be my top choice.
Can I send you what he sent me?
Of course. It's actually very well written estimate. You don't get this in other markets. Even my company, when we did it, we did not broke down how many starters, how many hip and reach. This is very good. It would work for insurance, very detailed. And I would say here what I like, he even specifies, you know, materials for flat roof, dry-in package, what kind of a lot of roofers don't specify what kind of ice and water they get, what kind of accessories they get. This guy is good. I like this a lot.
Well, I thought it was very thorough as well. But like I said, my only disappointment here was I really wanted to see cost, you know, per item, so I know when I go shopping for this material, you know, what I can expect in some, you know, in some way.
Sir, I'll give you advice, and because I deal with the contractors so much, contractors get offended by it, and it's you know, I know where you're coming from. There's a lot of homeowners who wants to know, but in this business, it's I promise you this, it doesn't come from a place of greed. We're not, contractors not trying to screw the homeowners or hide, but at the same time, nobody, just like in a restaurant business, nobody shares where they buy, how much they pay, especially if they buy in bulk. And most roofers, they'll buy in bulk. You're not gonna get that price. Even if he gets it for $10,000, it probably cost you $14,000. But the reason they're not gonna tell you that, because it's their business, and it's part of the business, and it's fair to most businesses. Auto mechanics, people who buy paint and stuff, we don't break it down like that. So just personal advice, if you focus on cost of materials, the contractors will take it the wrong way. I would just compare the estimates between the contractors. But because you're not the contractor, you're not, a guy like this, he's not gonna sub it out, and you're not gonna be able to get his price in the first place, if it makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So we're in Florida. We're in, the Orlando area. I'm in Claremont. Where's the best place to buy roofing materials? Do you know?
You only have 2 or 3 options. It's either ABC Supply, it's Beacon Supply. They're all very similar, but they work with the contractors. So the contractors have accounts with them. You can walk in and ask for a price, but if I'm a brand new contractor and I'll walk into ABC Supply and I'll place the order for this job, I might get priced $15,000 just for materials. This guy might be getting this job for $12,000, $3,000 cheaper. And the reason is because he spends $2-3 million with them. The more you buy, the cheaper it gets. There is a rebate. There's other incentives. So nobody gonna give you a walk-in price that's competitive. And there's also SRS, but you might have local suppliers. Usually they belong to someone. Like SRS is a very big player. They actually recently have been sold to Home Depot, but they might have local supplier that they own, but it still will be SRS brand.
Okay, so those are the 3.
Yeah.
I could send them this or bring them a copy of this proposal as far as the materials go, and ask them, what's it going to cost me for this stuff?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And could you kindly give me the names of the models of the shingles that you recommend? Because he did mention, we did talk, and he said the Berkshire shingles, they're only made twice a year, and what he was saying is they looks like Berkshire or Owens Corning is going to do away with the Berkshire line. Why, I don't know, but that's what he mentioned to me. So if that's not available, or that's not available in a timely manner, what's your best recommendation for material for architectural shingles?
I would say
would last.
Yeah, I would say I would go with the top 3. Ico Dynasty, Atlas Stormmaster. And you can also consider Certainteed Landmark Pro.
Which one of these would you, if you had a house in Florida, which one of these would you put on your house?
I tell you what I do have. Like, I actually have Ico Dynasty on my house, and I replaced my roof 3 or 4 months ago. I'll text you the link to my review of the year, and you'll see all of them there. So Ica Dynasty is on top of the list. There's also a few others. Like, for example, there's Malarkey. It's another brand, Malarkey Legacy, Malarkey Windsor. So you also good. There is a Certainteed makes Presidential Shake. It's very thick product. It's also, so pretty much I go from 0 to 97 points. My top 97, and I'll send you the link to these products. It's I'll just text it to you. Certainteed
Could you email it to me, please?
Yeah, I'll reply to the email you send me. Honestly, I'm looking at this estimate. My advice is go with someone like this guy. You know, Home Shield is a great company. The one thing I have to say is materials getting more, and Trump is coming to the office with the sanctions, with the not sanctions.
Tariffs?
Tariffs. He's gonna put on China, and our industry actually depends. We do a lot of imports, especially on accessories, and most brands have something overseas. So the price usually goes up 5-7 times a year. So I'll give you an example. This roof that you have at 41,000, 5 years ago it was more like 30,000. So next year it might be 45. So my recommendation, go with this guy, and he'll take care of you, and you'll have a way better roof than you have now. And even if you plan to do it now, you can do it, because materials, everything, planning will still take 5-6 months. You're probably going to get it done by the end of the year, but you can lock the price now. That would be my recommendation.
Okay. All right, Dmitry. Well, listen, thank you so much for taking the time to discuss this with me and give me your insights and everything. I really appreciate you.